So Suzume, a high school sophomore, wakes up from this super weird dream, where she's a little kid hugging a chair in the snow, feeling all alone. Shaking it off, she heads to school on her bike. On the way, she spots this young dude who looks kind of familiar and, not gonna lie, pretty cute. As they pass each other, he asks if she knows about any nearby doors. She's like, there's an old abandoned hot spring, onsen nearby. He thanks her and walks off, but Suzume's curiosity kicks in, and she decides to follow him. She finds the onsen and sees this random door just chilling in the ruins. Looks out of place, but she opens it and sees this amazing view of a starry night sky and a grassy hill. But when she tries to walk through, she ends up right back in the onsen. Annoyed, she almost trips over a weird stone statue that suddenly turns into a soaked white cat. She freaks out, the cat runs away, and Suzume heads back to school, leaving the door wide open. Classic Suzume, right? At school, her friends roast her for being late. During lunch, she notices some strange smoke coming from the mountain. But her friends are like, "What smoke?" Suzume sees this massive pillar of red-black smoke coming from the door she left open. She races back and finds the cute guy struggling to close the door against some crazy force. Instead of running away, she helps him shut the door. Chants some spell, key necklace glows, and they manage to close the door with a magical lock. Turns out the guy's name is Sota, and he's hurt. Suzume, being the mom friend, takes him to her place to bandage him up. Sota explains he's got this wild job of closing these mysterious doors that pop up in abandoned spots around Japan, cause if they stay open, it could mean the end of the world. No pressure, right? Suddenly, the white cat from before shows up at Suzume's window. She gives it food, and the cat starts talking, yeah, you read that right, and says it loves Suzume and that Sota's a buzzkill. Cat Daijin then transforms Sota into a small chair from Suzume's childhood. Now, Sota's a talking, moving chair. Great. The cat bolts, and Suzume and Chair Sota chase after it, even hopping on a boat headed to Ehime. Everyone's losing it over the sight of a walking chair, and it goes viral online. On the boat, Daijin is all like, "I'm gonna open more doors, lol." Suzume's aunt calls, worried about where she is. Suzume lies, saying she's at a friend's house. Suzume and Sota decide to take a break and eat, though Sota, now a chair, can't enjoy food. Bummer. Sota tells her to go home and let him handle things. But Suzume's like, nah, it'd be super weird for a walking chair to be out in public alone. They decide to use the viral pics to track Daijin and figure out their next move. Sota reluctantly agrees, and they start walking up a mountain road. Suddenly, a motorbike with crates of oranges zooms past them. One crate falls off, and oranges roll everywhere. The rider, Chika Amabe, a high school girl around Suzume's age, comes back to gather the oranges. Meanwhile, Sota spots ominous smoke clouds, signs of the Mimizu, rising from a mountain. Chika, seeing they're in a hurry, offers them a ride. They follow the smoke to an old, creepy area marked "Do Not Enter," road closure sign. Suzume, holding Chair Sota, rushes to an abandoned school. They find the Mimizu crawling out of the building. Sota tells Suzume to close her eyes and focus on the memories of the people who used to be there. She hears voices and sees faint images of past students. With Sota's help, they close the door and lock it with magic. They feel pretty accomplished, but then Daijin shows up again, being all smug. Sota demands to be turned back into a human, but Daijin just grins and runs off. Chika invites Suzume to stay at her family's ryokan for the night, as a thank you for helping with the oranges. Suzume agrees and helps with some chores. During dinner, Chika notices Suzume seems off, and tells her it's cool if she doesn't want to talk about it. Chika, feeling all nostalgic about her old high school, thanks Suzume for hanging out. They have a cute bonding moment, sharing their sense of purpose. The next morning, Suzume checks her phone and sees that Daijin, the chaotic cat, has made it all the way to Kobe. She tries to wake Sota, but he's unresponsive. Suzume briefly considers kissing him awake, then wonders, where's his mouth even on a chair? LOL. Sota finally wakes up, and they get ready to leave, thanking Chika and her family for their hospitality. As they head out, a sudden rainstorm forces them to take cover at a bus stop. A woman named Rumi Ninomiya stops her car and offers them a ride. In the back seat are her two kids. Rumi's in a bit of a pickle because her babysitter bailed, and she needs to get to work. Suzume offers to help with the kids. At Rumi's place, Suzume struggles to keep the kids entertained until Sota, still in chair form, pretends to be a robot toy, making the kids laugh as they ride around on him. After the kids fall asleep, Suzume heads downstairs to help Rumi with her busy bar. Guess who shows up? Daijin, the troublesome cat. Suzume chases after it, calling for Sota, who makes a dramatic leap out of the second-floor window to join her. They follow Daijin to an abandoned amusement park, where they see the Mimizu smoke rising from a door on one of the old Ferris wheel carts. Sota decides to chase after the cat, while Suzume tackles the door. Suzume reaches the Ferris wheel cart and struggles with the door. Meanwhile, Sota catches up to the sneaky cat near the park's generators. Daijin uses its magic to power up the generator, lighting up the park and starting the Ferris wheel. As the wheel moves, Suzume finds herself dangerously balanced outside the cart as it rises. Stepping inside, she's transported to a vision of a celestial night sky, a lush hill, and her younger self with her late mother. She's so caught up in the vision that she almost steps into the cart, which would have been a big yikes. Realizing Suzume's in danger, Sota ditches the cat chase and rushes to the Ferris wheel. He manages to reach her just in time, and together, they close the door, locking it with magic and preventing any more disasters. Exhausted, they sit in the Ferris wheel cart as it comes down. Suzume shares what she saw on the other side, a vision of her mom. Back at the bar, Rumi is relieved to see Suzume safe and gives her a stern talking to for running off at night. They all have dinner together. That night, Suzume and Sota chat in a booth. Sota reveals he's a fourth-year university student, wants to be a teacher but missed his exam because of all this chaos. Suzume's surprised and they chat until they fall asleep. As Sota sleeps, his soul seems to drift further away, thanks to Daijin's curse. In his dream, he's chilling on a deserted beach, sitting on Suzume's chair. The next morning, Rumi drives Suzume to the train station. Suzume and Sota take the bullet train back to Tokyo. Suzume falls asleep and later gets annoyed at Sota for not waking her up when they passed Mount Fuji. Classic missed photo op. They arrive in Tokyo, and Sota leads Suzume to his apartment in Ochanomizu, right above a Lawson convenience store. He shows her a book about the Mimizu and the sealing stones used to keep them in check. Turns out, the Mimizu are troublemakers that cause earthquakes, and there are sealing stones in Kyushu, Suzume's hometown, and Tokyo. Sota's family has the duty of sealing these bad boys whenever they show up. As they're figuring out their next move, there's a knock at the door. Sota's friend, Serizawa, walks in with a key. Sota plays the chair role and Suzume quickly improvises, saying she's Sota's cousin. Serizawa mentions he's looking for Sota and asks Suzume to let him know when Sota's back. Suddenly, an earthquake alert goes off on their phones, making things even more intense. Suzume spots the Mimizu appearing dangerously close and grabs Sota, rushing out of the apartment, leaving a confused Serizawa behind. They dash across a busy highway and notice train tracks below, realizing the Mimizu's source is underground. This Mimizu is way bigger and scarier than any they've faced before. In a desperate move, Sota jumps into the Mizu, leaving Suzume behind. Without a second thought, Suzume leaps off the bridge after him, making it look like she's jumping to her death to any onlookers. The Mimizu spirals over Tokyo, and Daijin, the mischievous white cat, appears in the sky, warning that if the Mimizu falls, it'll spell disaster for many people. As they watch, the cat does something to Sota, causing his chair form to freeze over with ice. Sota, realizing he's running out of time, reflects on how he didn't expect to die so soon after meeting Suzume. With those final thoughts, his chair form freezes completely. Suzume cries out for him, but Daijin coldly informs her that Sota is now a sealing stone containing the Mimizu. The emotional weight of the situation overwhelms Suzume, and she faints. Cat transforms into a soft cushion to catch her as she falls. Suzume awakens in a strange underground cave with shallow water. In this eerie place, she spots a shrine-like gate. Beyond it, she sees Sota, still frozen in his chair form, embedded in the ground on a hill. She tries to reach out to him, but a barrier stops her. Daijin reappears, and Suzume, desperate and angry, grabs the cat, demanding it return Sota to normal. Cat, hurt by her harsh words, tries to explain that it only wanted to play with her. When Suzume declares she hates it, Daijin loses its playful demeanor, becoming an ordinary silent cat, and walks away. Determined, Suzume vows to save Sota, locks the shrine gate, and finds her way out, ending up in a highway tunnel. Suzume sneaks into the hospital where Sota's uncle is staying and explains everything. The uncle dismisses the idea of saving Sota, advising her to forget it all and move on. But Suzume insists she's willing to risk her life to save him. Seeing her determination, the uncle reveals that to rescue Sota, she must go to her childhood hometown in Miyagi, place seen beyond the gates. Back at Sota's apartment, Suzume changes into a clean uniform and heads to Ochanomizu Station. There, she encounters Serizawa, who demands to know where Sota is. Just then, Tamaki arrives, misunderstanding the situation and assuming Serizawa is a playboy leading Suzume around. She tries to take Suzume home, but Suzume jumps into Serizawa's car, with Tamaki following. As they argue, a voice tells them to shut up. They turn to see Daijin in the back seat, which snaps them out of their argument. Suzume seizes the moment to explain her urgent mission. Reluctantly, Tamaki and Serizawa agree to help her. They stop at a rest area to escape the rain and grab a bite. While there, Tamaki calls a friend to explain the situation. The friend, concerned, suggests they take a bus back home instead of traveling with a stranger. Tamaki, convinced, tries to persuade Suzume to return home. However, Suzume firmly rejects this, expressing her frustration and desire to handle things on her own. Suddenly, Tamaki, seemingly possessed by a dark force, starts shouting hurtful things at Suzume. She blames Suzume for holding her back in her career and love life, demanding compensation for lost time. Shocked, Suzume realizes this isn't her aunt speaking, and sees a large black cat with glowing yellow eyes behind Tamaki, apparently controlling her. Daijin leaps up and hisses at the black cat, causing Tamaki to collapse. Suzume rushes to her aunt, who wakes up horrified by what she just said. Tamaki, overwhelmed with guilt, runs into the rest stop, distraught. Serizawa, confused and concerned, tries to understand what's going on, while Tamaki breaks down, regretting her words. The next day, Suzume, Tamaki, and Serizawa are back on the road. As they drive towards Suzume's hometown, the cat suddenly speaks again, startling both Serizawa and Tamaki. The unexpected distraction almost causes Serizawa to crash into an oncoming car. He swerves, sending the car into a ditch. Thankfully, everyone is unharmed. The car is stuck. Tamaki finds an old bike nearby and rides it to catch up with Suzume, who has started walking. He offers Suzume a ride, and the cats jump into the bike's basket. While they ride, Tamaki apologizes for her harsh words earlier, admitting she didn't fully understand the situation but recognizes its importance to Suzume. Arriving at Suzume's childhood home, they dig up a time capsule in the backyard. Inside, Suzume finds a notebook she used for doodling as a child. She recalls drawing the scene she's been seeing on the other side of the gate. The last page of the notebook depicts a star-filled night sky with Suzume next to a door. Realizing the significance of the image, Suzume tears out the page and rushes off, the cats following closely behind. They discover a toppled door in its frame and open it, revealing the familiar star-filled night sky. As Suzume prepares to jump through, Tamaki catches up and asks where she's going. Suzume replies that she's going to the one she loves and leaps through the door. On the other side, Suzume finds herself in a devastated area. Burning ruins and boats perched on crumbling building. The largest mimizu she has ever seen looms nearby. The black cat transforms into a giant white tiger and battles the mimizu. Suzume and the white tiger land near a hill where Soda, still frozen, is at the top. Determined, Suzume rushes to Soda and tries to pull him out of the ice, but her hands begin to freeze. The white tiger warns that removing Soda will release the mimizu into the world again since there would be no sealing stone left. Undeterred, Suzume declares she will become the sealing stone herself, if needed to save Soda. Moved by her resolve, the white tiger assists her. Together they manage to free Soda, and they all tumble down the hill. Soda reverts to his human form, and the two share a moment of relief and joy. Suzume then notices the cat lying unconscious nearby. She rushes over, cradling it in her hands, and tearfully asks if it's okay. Cat, in its final moments, expresses joy at being in Suzume's warm hands. As Suzume blinks, the white tiger transforms into the stone statue that once sealed the mimizu. Realizing that the cat was the sealing stone all along, Suzume and Soda brace themselves as the mimizu approaches. They jump onto the mimizu and work together to seal it away once and for all. As the large white tiger vanishes, Suzume faces her younger self, who is crying and searching for her mother. The child explains that her mother worked at a hospital and was likely worried sick about her after the tsunami and earthquake. Suzume tries to comfort her younger self, struggling at first but eventually handing the chair to the little girl, assuring her that everything will be okay. She tells her younger self that despite the hardships, she will emerge stronger in the end. The child takes the chair, and before stepping through a door at the top of the hill, looks back to see Suzume and Sota standing at the bottom. In the present, Suzume and Sota return through their own gate. As they part ways, Sota mentions he needs to ensure no more gates are left unchecked but promises visit Suzume again. Life gradually returns to normal for everyone. The story concludes with Suzume riding her bike to school, beginning a new chapter of her life with a sense of peace and resolution.